tho- those of you attending the annual conference was good and fun and enjoying a lot of information, lot of activities, and many experiences we have. The next year annual conference will be in Colorado, July 2023, and that will be face to face, and I'm sure that that will be a good opportunity for us to meet after 2-3 years of COVID in person to person at the annual conference. Okay. Now this meeting today we planned as our working group members. I can see 3 working members are joined, Rod and Yogenda. I have not heard from them. I think they may also join. The idea was to have a close interaction, working relationship between the working group members and also with the country coordinators and the group community in the region. So at this conference, one thing which was very useful, that many presentations were very good. And the presentation on soil by Rod and Joanne was great. And a lot of people, they wrote that this is a rock star presentation. So we have a rock star here. And that was great. There was around 11 participants from Taiwan. They attended the annual conference, 15 from Bhutan, 12 from Thailand, and participants from Mongolia, Philippines, 5 or 6 of them. Okay. Philippines, Australia, India, Mongolia. So roughly from our region, we had 55 participants. And I think that was quite a good number. That was more than 1/3 of the overseas participants who attended this conference. So that was great. And as always, our participation at this conference was good. Okay. Now, to whom I should give, I hand over now to the working group members to make their presentations and tell us about their activities. Now, Rod is here. Welcome, Rod. Hi, and now I hand over to Rod. Okay, Rod, you coordinate working group member sessions, and we are the listener. Okay, Rod?
Sorry, Dash, I just came in.
Yes, I know. I just told that we were putting you absent, but you are there. Now from A to we make you P present. Okay.
You want me to present first?
Yeah, you can plan whatever you have. I'm going to contact Yogenda. Yogenda has not yet come, but you are here. Join is here. Then Join is here. Then Francis is here. All 4 of you from Philippines.
That's right.
Members, and I'm going to change Yogenda if he's around. Okay. So
okay. Yeah.
For you to coordinate who is the first, who is the second, whatever. Okay.
Okay. Are you seeing the slides that I'm sharing?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I'm here on behalf of the Education Working Group consisting of members from each regional clusters around the globe. The chair of the committee is Ms. Lynn Her. You have probably heard about her. Francis Watson Nasugba from Africa, myself representing Asia Pacific, Yule Kikas from Europe and Eurasia, Dario Victor Granny Oliveri representing Latin America and the Caribbean, Nahid Nail Jamil Ajluni representing Near East and North Africa, And Amy Barfield is the GIO liaison for the education working group. And of course, Dorian Janey, which is who is the representative of NASA. So I'm here to briefly discuss with you the things that we do at the Education Working Group, with emphasis on the enhanced master trainer certification process, which has been a work in progress for the past 5-6 years. And it's only been recently, by recent, I mean last year, that the GIO approved of its rollout. So this is what we do. So in case you have any need for us to assist your programs and activities, we can help you, provided that it is aligned with our functions. We promote activities based on education that is linked with the GLOBE program. We work with other groups to provide them feedback from an education perspective, assist the community to implement GLOBE with sound pedagogy all over the globe. And lastly, we assist with the implementation of the new trainer and mentor trainer. We have been a very busy working group, and last year, so I'm not mentioning what we have done the years previous to that, we have been providing support to most of the GLOBE working groups, from the technology down to the science group. We have also reviewed, last year, we have submitted a proposed guidelines for the submission of teaching and learning resources for the NASA Education and GLOBE program. But we haven't gotten into the second step, because we have yet to receive feedback from our proposal submitted to NASA. So basically, if you're wondering what this is all about, as you know, the GLOBE program, the GLOBE community has been given access by NASA to many of its teaching and learning resources, online teaching and learning resources, and we wanted to institute some form of quality checks and control. And if this is approved, before anyone can post any teaching and learning materials at the GLOBE website or at the NASA learning resources, it would have to go through the education working group. And if you have participated in the last annual meeting, you may have heard of the enhanced or changes or revisions in the certification for the trainer and mentor trainer process. Again, the focus of my presentation today is towards this, because the rollout has been pretty slow and it has not been very smooth. And the buy-in of the community is relatively low. I will explain to you how low is relatively low. And thus we are encouraging, especially country coordinators, to have themselves recertified either as trainer or mentor trainer. So allow me to focus on my presentation. Again, the focus is on the trainer certification process, particularly the revisions to it. And well, basically about the teachers, trainers, and mentor trainer process. So if you have attended the annual meeting, you have probably heard me, you've probably seen this presentation. If not, then it's a good opportunity for me to repeat it for those who have not attended the annual meeting. As I mentioned, it is a long ongoing process, which was only certified, which was only approved by GIO for rollout last 2020. So 2012, the trainer, master trainer. So take note of the change in the terminology, master trainer.
Change is some sort of process.
May I request that you be muted? Okay. So unknown to a lot, at least when I joined the GLOBE community in 2014, I would say that this document, the 2012 trainer, master trainer guideline has been long forgotten, and the implementation of the certification for trainer and master trainer were largely devolved, if not solely devolved, to the country coordinators, which means along the way, the quality control basically diminished over time, perhaps because many have forgotten about this document. In fact, when I joined the Globe community, it's only in 2016, after I was first invited to be part of the Globe Strategic Planning Committee, that I have heard of such a document exists. And this is what probably motivated us to, and the GIO, to look into the document and propose for its revision and updating. So sometime in 2017, the GIO made a call to review the 2012 document. The Education Working Group immediately convened and made its initial assessment of the 2012 document. We have sent, though, in 2017 of August, we have already prepared the initial draft or how we would want to revise the 2012 document. We sent these documents to the Globe community. We conducted a survey translated in 7 languages to solicit their comments, feedbacks, and suggestions to our initial proposal. In 2018, I am quite fortunate to have been a member of the Globe Strategic Planning Committee, and the Globe Strategic Planning Committee emphasized that part of the Globe Education Working Group's mandate is to capacitate the delivery of high quality professional learning and experiences. Basically, what it is saying is to institute quality control in the certification of trainer and mentor trainers. It's, I guess, to get a very good grasp or context on the importance of maintaining the integrity as well as the prestigiousness of the certification, because in the Western world, and I must say the Western world, North America, Europe, and Eurasia, there is really value to being certified as a Globe trainer, because as a Globe trainer, you can conduct and be paid for trainings that you have done for the Globe program. So it does have value in that part of the world. Of course, in the Education Working Group, as representative from the Asia Pacific region, I told them that the implementation of the Globe program is quite different in other countries. I don't know, maybe Thailand and Taiwan may be something similar, but just the same, the idea is there. The idea is to maintain quality as well as uplift the prestigiousness and integrity of this trainer and mentor trainer certification process. At this stage, you would please take note the change in the terminology from master trainer to mentor trainer. So in 2019, we obviously, based on the feedback of the Globe community, we made further revisions to the document, and we presented the draft document in Detroit. It was welcomed by the community, and again, we solicited feedback, suggestions, and comments from the community, and incorporated it in our January 2021 final draft, which we presented to the Globe, to the GIO, and was finally approved in 2020. GIO gave the go signal to have it rolled out sorry, on April 2020. And we conducted webinar in all the regional clusters of Globe to present to them the new trainer and mentor trainer certification process. And we have been implementing them. And as I must be honest, that the implementation was with a lot of hiccups, not just some hiccups, but it had we had a lot of hiccups along the way, and we were ironing all these issues as we move on and implement the process, and thus the revisions to it, which I will be explaining to you in a short while. You have probably seen this if you have attended last year's Asia Pacific Regional Meeting or the annual meeting or this year's annual meeting. The biggest revision is to the trainer, mentor trainer, when it was first rolled out in April 2020, is that everything should now be done online. This is not just in response to the COVID situation worldwide, but it is to facilitate communication among approving authorities, because at each stage there is an approving authority. Previously, in the April 2021 document, we allowed application directly to country coordinators, but again, to facilitate better communication and approving, as well as monitoring of the status of application, everything should be done through the Globe website. We have worked closely with the IT people of the GIO to ensure that the system would support the trainer, mentor trainer certification process, so that if you are an applicant, for example, for trainer or mentor trainer, you would know exactly where your papers are stored and what the status of at what status of the application process your application is in. So that's the biggest change. It now has to be done online. Everything that you need, the forms, information about the how to be certified, it's in the website. The first step is, of course, to download all these forms, fill them in, and submit all the necessary documents. Necessary documents are supporting documents, because the biggest change in the from the 2012 document is that we have defined the necessary competency and knowledge a certain trainer or mentor trainer needs to have before they can be certified. And to ensure that they have those competency, or at least met the minimum requirements for such certification, you are to provide certain proof of those competencies and qualifications. So that's the biggest change from the 2012 document. So after you've filled in the documents and submitted it via online. Of course, for you to be able to submit an application, you need to be a Globe member first. You need to have your own username and access to the Globe website. Once you submit those documents online, it automatically goes to to align a series of approval. First is with the country coordinator. The country coordinator will review and evaluate and make a recommendation to the education working group. And the recommendation can either be positive or negative. In the event that it is a negative recommendation, the country coordinator through the website will immediately inform the applicant of his or her deficiencies and ways to address those deficiencies. At this stage, of course, the applicant can either address those deficiencies and start the application all over again, or simply stop and terminate his or her application. The recommendation of the country coordinator may be positive, and the moment also the approving process is all done electronically. So from our system, Globe website system, the moment as country coordinator, for example, the moment I click approve, it automatically goes to the next level of approval. And that goes to the education working group, is if the recommendation of the country coordinator is positive, and the education working group is to identify and assign a mentor trainer. And once a mentor trainer is assigned, the candidate will then submit all the documentations to the MT. By the way, the candidate would not have to physically forward the documents because the documents are automatically accessible by the assigned mentor trainer. So the keyword here is that everything is done electronically and there is no duplication of any process for that matter. Alternatively, if the applicant has a mentor trainer in mind, he or she may also make that recommendation that he or she be mentored by a preferred mentor trainer. And that is also possible, provided, of course, that person is a certified mentor trainer in the first place. And of course, once everything has been forwarded electronically to the mentor trainer now reviews all the documents and coordinates with the candidate, either candidate for trainer or mentor trainer, and agree on the place, time, and manner of observation. Sorry, you have to forgive me. And we go to step 2. So this mentor trainer process is a 3-step process. So step 2 now involves the trainer application process. This is the stage in which, if you are a trainer, you see in 2012, in the 2012 document, at least in the implementation of it, the country coordinator has a free hand to certify or change the status of any GLOBE member to either a teacher, to a trainer, to a master trainer, provided that he or she has gone through training. But it's no longer the case because now the trainer would have to actually, the candidate trainer would now have to actually conduct a training under the supervision and observation of a certified mentor trainer. The observation can either be in person or online or via a video submission. And the country coordinator or the RCO will review the evaluation and make a recommendation in the event that the recommendation can either be positive or negative. If it is negative, then similarly, the country coordinator will inform the candidate of any deficiencies and ways to address those deficiencies. Or at this stage, the candidate can either address those deficiencies and start all over again in stage 2, or decide to terminate his or her application. In the event that it is a positive recommendation, then the evaluation continues. And again, so there's a typographical error here. It's not the CC RCO to review, it's the mentor trainer. The same thing with the square above it, it should be the mentor trainer. So I just noticed the typographical error. It's the mentor trainer who will make the recommendation. So the recommendation can either be to approve or not to approve it. In the case of non-approval, then again, the same thing happens. She will be informed of his or her deficiencies, and at that stage, the candidate may address
measurement will use the influence of the precipitation.
If the recommendation of the mentor trainer is positive, then it notifies the CC and the RCO. In the case of a trainer, the CC and the RCO has the authority to change the status of the trainer. The status of the candidate to trainer. Until there is an approval, that privilege is suspended by the system. So the moment there is a positive recommendation by the mentor trainer, the country coordinator can now change the status of the candidate. You see, previous to this, the country coordinator has a free hand to change the status of anybody under his or her jurisdiction, but it's no longer the case. Again, the idea is not to inconvenience or make it difficult for everyone, but to maintain the maintain quality control and integrity of the globe certification. And oops, sorry. And then we go to step 3. Step 3 is basically when you are already certified as a trainer or mentor trainer. You have to maintain an active status at the globe community. Even if you are certified, if you are unable to maintain an active status, then you will lose your certification. So step 3 is about maintaining an active status. For those of you who have been with the Globe community for at least a year, you would notice that at the end of each year, not necessarily at the end of each year, but you will get a survey from the GIO asking you to accomplish the annual survey. Now that's very important. Perhaps some of you have overlooked it because of your busy schedules, but that's actually very important. And that's one of the, should I say, main proof that you are maintaining an active status with the Globe community. So complete the annual survey. And once you could at this stage either have completed it or not. If not, then the country coordinator or the RCO can change your status from active to inactive, and you lose your certification as a result. You may ask for a reconsideration if you are affected by it, and the reconsideration could either be favorable to you or not. In the event that it is not favorable to you, then the status of inactivity remains. If you have completed it, then you are to submit a list of accomplishment for the past three years. The good thing about this is that you can be inactive for about a year, but not straight for 3 years. So the requirement of submission of accomplishment is for periods of 3 years. So it doesn't have to be every year. Okay. And once you have submitted, again, everything is done online. The country coordinator or the RCO reviews and evaluates the submitted documents, and if he or she could either find it meeting the requirement or not meeting the requirements. If not, then again, the CC or the RCO changes your status from active to inactive. You may file a motion for reconsideration. In that case, the decision could either be favorable to you. In that case, you would be asked to again resubmit those proof of accomplishment for the past 3 years. If not, if your request for reconsideration is denied, then the status of inactivity remains. If you have met the requirement as per the review of the CCRCO, then your active status remains. And that's about it. So let me just mention that everything is done online. And now this is what we hope many country coordinators will do after our presentation during the just concluded annual meeting. Number one, we are encouraging all country coordinator, or even if you're not a country coordinator, if you are a certified trainer already for the Globe program, that you consider yourself applying for mentor trainer. Because at the moment, we only have a handful, 2 handsful, so less than 10, I guess, unless there have been recent additions to the list of mentor trainers. There's very few mentor trainers at the moment. If you are previously a master trainer, the process may be a lot easier at this stage, that we are trying to have an initial list of mentor trainers to get the process going. After this stage, and I don't know how long this stage is going to be, this stage of populating the mentor trainers list. After that, the mentor, if anybody would want to apply as mentor trainer, you would have to go through the process that I have just described. So let me repeat, because this is very important. If you are already a master trainer, you may allow to use your title as master trainer. The GLOBE program will no longer be certifying additional master trainer. If you are a master trainer, an active master trainer, you may have that converted to a mentor trainer. And to do that, you have to go through the online application process. And in your application, you may want to mention, or you should mention, that you are a master trainer. And because we are still populating the list of mentor trainer, because we won't be able to roll this out if we don't have sufficient number of mentor trainers. So if you're a former master trainer and you would want your master trainer to be converted to a mentor trainer, now is the time to make that application, because the process will be a lot easier if you can establish that you have been an active member and have been conducting training actively for the GLOBE program. Then the process of approval is very, very simple. So we encourage country coordinator, you should be at least a trainer, so check your own status if they have not, that you are at least a trainer. But if you're not a trainer, then that's fine. But we believe that as country coordinator, your certification should be at least a trainer. And finally, country coordinator, of course, for the Philippines, that's me. Your master trainer in the Philippines, we only have 4, if I recall correctly, 4 master trainers. Initially, I've invited them all to apply for mentor trainer, but then it was overtaken by events. Now they have to apply personally online to have those master trainer converted into mentor trainer. And this is my last slide, but I would like to make an advertisement, and this has something to do with the Asia Pacific Journal on Environmental Science. The GIO and NASA has approved to be part of this journal, not as, I forgot the term that they use, but they have agreed to be part of the advisory board of this journal. We have posted a call for paper for this journal, which we expect to publish. I don't know if October 2020 is still manageable, but I encourage, if you have IVSS submission that you would want to consider for publication for this first issue of the journal, please submit them to us. Don't worry about the quality. When I say don't worry about the quality, it's because we would have it professionally edited. And what is most important for us is that the data in that submission is of quality, and that your conclusions and recommendations and statements of the problems are clear. And we will do the rest to make sure that when it is published, that it will be of quality. We have to do it. We have to maintain quality, because the GIO and the NASA education is on board as our advisor for this project. And we hope the Regional Coordinating Office of the Asia Pacific region would help us on receiving the submission for publication. With that, from our words in Filipino, maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rod. Wonderful. And actually, Yoginder will not be able to join. So we have 4 speakers. Who will be the second one? Hello, who will be the second one from Philippines? Can I request Rockstar? Joanne?
Hello. Good afternoon. Um, Dr. Rod, can you present my slide, please? Because my signal will not allow me to present.
I didn't know you sent. Did you send me any slides?
Yeah. Slide link. Thank you.
Where did you send it, if I may ask?
In your messenger.
Okay, let me just quickly. It won't take long. Yeah, just a minute. You should have told me earlier. Okay,
Only because it's
I'm in my
raining.
messenger, so I'm now downloading it.
Thank you.
Okay, so okay, so you want me to share, Joanne? Yeah.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Is this it? Yeah.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Okay, you give me cue when to change slides. You're on.
Okay. Again, good afternoon from the Philippines. This is our work and I am the representative for the Asia Pacific region. Next, please. So the vision of the technology working group is to serve as a liaison between the Globe user community. So it means the public, the student, the teachers, citizen scientists, Globe Data Information System team, and the Globe Implementation Office to help ensure optimal user experience with the Globe website and the associated technology. So it means currently we have the data entry app and the Globe Observer app. Our mission is to provide regional insights on local technological challenges and to offer input on priorities of proposed upcoming improvements to the Globe BIS. When these improvements are implemented, we deliver that message to our respective communities. So for my case, Asia Pacific. Additionally, we investigate now and innovative technologies as well as connect with teachers, students, scientists, and citizen scientists to facilitate direct feedback from user. Next, please. So here are members of our team. So from Africa, we have Buba, and for Asia Pacific, you have me, and then Liva from Europe and Eurasia, Anna from Latin America, Ahmad from Northeast and Near Africa, and North America, we have Sarah, and then the chair for this working group is Laura Altin, Lisa from NASA, and then Islam from GIO, Dave, and then Cornell. For the past year, we supported the website usability testing. We sent emails to different participants for to test the website, and then improve Globe website architecture, merging Globe Observer and Globe data entry apps. We also support the new mentor training process and the teacher guide search. Simplified account request and setup process. Student accounts and student tracking. If you are using the Globe Observer app, you may be able to check these updates. Develop new technology working group website on Globe. New user, you can also check the new user dashboard for the website. Dash message that his internet is gone. And then also a new idea, subcommittee for DEI tech solutions. We have this new project for visually impaired individuals. Student zone, the globe themes, mentor training certification process. For the future activities and key current initiatives, we have testing and recommending new equipments. So our focus now is to include automated weather stations, support on connecting data to globe for new models of Davis weather stations. Soon you will see these updates. The simplified account creation, getting started process. This is already available, so you can check on these updates. Next, please. You can also now customize your dashboard for all the globe participants. So this is an example. I am in a meeting. Kindly go back, please. Better organized content and a more effective interface to share accomplishment, awards, recognitions, and interest. So this is the new phase of the dashboard. Thank you so much.
Okay, who's next? Francis, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Francis, and I am representing the Asia and the Pacific region, the Globe's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Working Group. As a background, I've been a member of the Globe program since 2017, and I've been a member of the DEI Working Group since 2021, and has been a member of the GISN since 2020. The start of the Globe Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Working Group began essentially with the formation of the DEI task force. So these are the people who formed this particular task force back in February of 2020. So here are their names. So the members of our task force came from different parts of the world, essentially having at least one representative from each of the globe regions. So as mentioned earlier, we had this task force meeting in Colorado in February 2020, where essentially we were tasked to formulate or form the DEI mission and vision statements for the globe community. So from there, we tried to come up with the DEI definitions of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and prepare an action plan for the community, which was presented by the task force during the 2020 Globe virtual meeting. After the formation of the DEI task force, the DEI working group was formally launched, and a call for application to its members was also given to the Globe community. So the work of the DEI working group started formally on January of 2021. So here are the current members of the DEI working group. So we have from North America, we have Nikita Imani, who is currently sitting as its chair. We also have Dr. Trina Ferrell, Rosalba Giratano, the NASA liaison to the DEI working group. We also have Grace Crane, who is the GIO liaison to the working group. For the South America, we have Juan Felipe Restrepo Mesa. For the Eurasia, we have Marina. For the Africa, we have we have Shadrach. For the Near East, we have Noura, and yours truly for the Asia and the Pacific. So here are the current members of the DEI working group until 2023. So let me present at this point the accomplishments so far of the DEI working group. So these are essentially the ones that we have presented earlier this year with a few additions. So first, we are proud to be one of the first working group to have updated the specific web page of the working groups. So we have here now a screenshot of the DEI working group web page where we have essentially placed all of the materials that the group has accomplished and or collected in the past months. We have also have this DEI assessment report, which is also uploaded in our DEI webpage inside the Globe webpage. So here, essentially, we have collected all the practices, knowledge, and resources needed in order for the Globe constituents to practice DEI-related activities. So we have also expanded the definition of DEI. So our some of the members there actually came up with this key phrase or keyword. So Jedidaya. So we have justice, equity, diversity, inclusion, equality, and accessibility. So these are the additional terms that we placed there and expanded their definitions. At the same time, for the DEI webpage, we also included a glossary of terms. These are DEI related terms where each definition or description have been vetted, so to speak, of the different members of the working group in consultation with the DEI task force members. So essentially, these terms are essentially understandable across different backgrounds, knowing, of course, that we have different members from different parts of the world. We tried to come up with this one, but we are yet to load or put this on board. We have the possible DI word of the month so that we can highlight this. So we are trying to come up with a possible platform so that we could actually have this displayed prominently in specific parts of the Globe website. And then, of course, as we, the working group work together through the months, we also plan to add additional terms that will eventually be accessible through our DEI working group page. At the same time, we have done this, I think, in one or two instances, we were able to have a short text or announcement regarding the observances across different parts of the world. So we have actually sent, I think via the GIO, a request to the country coordinators to have their particular observances in their country submitted so that we can put them together and have them presented or mentioned at key times during a particular year, and that will be placed in our either the Globe news brief or through the Globe website. We have also done a number of or presented a number of DEI related blog posts, and initially Rosalba has been doing this one on behalf of the DEI working group, but most recently I am proud to say that we are now able to write together as a working group. This particular entry that we uploaded to Rosalba's blog has been done by the subcommittee of the working group that is who are tasked to write blog posts that are related to DEI practices. So we highlighted here this one, this retired professor, I think from India, who has this highest number of cloud observations so far in the Globe database. So we are looking forward to more blog posts in the future. And after our Globe DEI Task Force reunion, I think last week during the annual meeting, we have mentioned there and came up with the idea of having information from different people from across the Globe community so that we will be updated of this similar events so that we can actually post this to our DEI blog page. So far we are using the web page or the blog page of Rosalba But I think in the coming months, we will be able to have a specific page in the Globe website where all this DEI related blog posts will be accessible to all members of the Globe community. And then also we were able to post or include DEI related items in the Globe news briefs or events. One such example is this one talk that has been given by our working group chair, Dr. Nikita Imani. So this one was on traditional astronomy. So this particular event was co-hosted by the working group, rather the DEI working group and NASA Goddard's Earth Science DNI group. So hopefully we will be able to see more of this in the coming months. If not this year, probably or most likely beginning next year. Another activity that we can say that has been part of the accomplishment of the DEI working group is that we have been involved in other DEI related activities within the DEI community. So not just within the Globe community. So whenever we have this chance to branch out events or communities where DEI is being highlighted, we are open. We have been always open to those kinds of collaboration. So one such event was this webinar series relating to Pride Month. So this has been hosted by the NASA Goddard Institute for Space Studies, but this has been also included in the activities and preparations of the DEI working group. Now, looking ahead, before I discuss this one, I would just like to say that the report, the video report of the DEI working group contains most of the details regarding the plans that we have between the recently concluded annual meeting and the next one. But I'll just highlight two key ideas or concepts that we are looking forward to accomplish in the coming months. So these two concepts are on language and best practices. So first one, I to continue and expand the pilot efforts to integrate the translation of this mosquito project and other similar initiatives. So this has been started already by our DEI working group vice chair, Juan Restrepo Mesa, and we are looking forward to have this done also to other Globe projects as well. So he has been spearheading the translations. I think he has done a number of seminars or webinars already where he did the talk both in English and Spanish. So probably will be able to see other webinars in which other language will be used during that particular event. At the same time, we also to expand the multilingual group training webinars relating to IVSS.
Session, extreme weather.
So I think in the past editions of the IVSS, we already had this sort of two versions, one in English and one, I think, if in Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. So just like the one that we want to happen in the mosquito project, we want to expand these types of webinars in which the language is not just limited to English and Spanish. At the same time, we want to develop a language support program. So this one essentially encompasses all of the activities of the Globe program. So first, we want to provide a language support program for Globe teachers whose primary language is not English. So of course, we have already seen this in a number of materials that we have already in the Globe program. So we have resources that have been translated already on a number of languages. But of course, we want to improve on them and have them translated to more languages other than the ones that we usually see in the Globe website. We also want to develop a language support program to infuse a language translation into Globe infrastructures. So of course, we have seen this already in our Globe website. We have mentioned earlier the translated materials and resources that we have already. But still, we want to expand this and have as many languages as possible because that is again, the spirit of the DEI working group. so that we can include everyone in the efforts and activities of the Globe program. And at the same time, there is a catch in this particular planned language support program. We want to incentivize the Globe members who would probably volunteer to be ambassadors of this translation. So we do not have any idea yet as to what these incentives would be, but hopefully that would entice people, both that would entice Globe members, both teachers and students alike, to be ambassadors of this translation. So we are one big Globe family. So we have different languages, and we can pull together our knowledge and resources to develop this language support program. So we see right here that the activities and the tasks of the Globe DEI working group is not just limited to the members of the DEI working group. So we are always looking to any possible collaborations within and even outside the Globe community. And then lastly, we have seen a part of this one in our DEIA assessment report, but in the long run, we want to have this material or probably repository online where we can actually gather all of the DEI best practices that some or many of our Globe constituents have been doing and plan on doing in the future. So we envision this to have this lodged in our, of course, our one-stop shop is our Globe website. So we want to see this displayed and made accessible to all of the Globe constituents in the future. So from here, of course, we are always excited to have these plans. And if among these tasks that we have on hand, if you think that you can join us, so you are always welcome to join in the efforts and activities of our working group, so that we can pull all this thing together, okay, for the development and of course for the betterment of our Globe community. So with that, thank you very much, and I hope at least in this very short presentation you are able to have a better appreciation and understanding of what this relatively new working group is doing right now and plans to do in the future. Thank you very much.
Joy, you're up next.
Hello, everyone. So Sir Francis will be the one to share my presentation, since I'm just using an iPad for the moment. Okay, so again, good evening here. So hello, everyone. My name is Josephine Joy Tolentino Antalan, and I'm going to present the accomplishments and updates of the Science Working Group. To start with, so here are the updates on our works. Basically, these are the accomplishments of our group. So first, we've worked on the protocol bundles. We've also worked on the Science Working Group webpage. And also we did an audit on the instrument information in toolkit, as well as considering the new protocol activation process, which is about to be completed. Next slide, please. So in terms of the Globe protocol bundles, this has actually been presented during the annual meeting. So let me emphasize that the Globe protocol bundle, the bundles are designed to encourage Earth system inquiry, and of course to promote connections among and within spheres. So we're talking about here hydrosphere, biosphere, pedosphere, and atmosphere. Also, the Globe protocol bundles are designed in order to use existing data and collect new data as well. So this data will be used for the students in their research, specifically in order for them to get more involved and engaged in doing research, which they could propose for the International Virtual Science Symposium, or the IVSS, and for their individual research in their high school project. Next slide, please. In terms of the Globe protocol bundles, here are our accomplishments. So we have revised and updated the protocols. So in terms of the bundle protocol, we have the agriculture, air quality, and for the L Southern Coast, mosquito, ocean, rivers and lakes, soils, urban, water cycle, water quality, and weather. We have also considered and updated the user's access on protocol bundles. Specifically, we have considered here several criteria. Specifically, for example, we have the unique access of each person using these protocol bundles, the usability of these protocols, as well as the effectiveness. And also, aside from the protocol bundles, we have created new protocol bundles. These are agriculture and the ENSO, or the El Nino Southern Oscillation. Next slide, please. So this is just an overview of how protocol bundles are up in our Globe webpage. So in the bundle overview, for example, we have here the air quality bundle. So there are several questions on which the person or the citizen scientist or the student can look into in order to research or consider or study this protocol bundle. So we have here which GLOBE protocols are included in the air quality bundle, for example, and other GLOBE protocols which are related to air quality. And also relevant scientific background, so the student and the teacher or other citizen scientists can look into the air quality bundle. And also under this bundle overview, we have student research questions and projects. So uploaded here are the past IVSS projects or other research of students which are related to air quality. And also uploaded in the bundle overview are the case study examples, and of course, acknowledgements and references, of which would be useful for students in doing their IVSS and other research projects. Next slide, please. So this is our Science Working Group webpage. This is still in progress. Okay, so we have drafted the vision, the mission, and what we stand for. Next slide, please. Aside from the web page, we have done an audit of the instrument information in toolkit. So this is in coordination with the education working group. So we have here a toolkit for Globe Teacher's Guide, and we've seen that some of the measurements, protocol, instrument, and skill levels are mismatched. Meaning to say some protocols are actually, for example, instead of middle, they should be under primary level, not in middle or secondary. So we've seen also some instruments which are outdated or obsolete. So we need to have a revision in order to create or to add more recent instrumentations for this one. So we've listed several instruments and protocols, of course, to consider on the audit of the information, instrument information in toolkit. Next slide, please. So this is actually the focus of our working group for the past few months, the new protocol activation process. This new protocol activation process has been considered from the important points that we've gathered from the deactivation process. So under the deactivation process, we have looked through those instruments and protocols that are obsolete and needs updating. So under the new protocol activation process, we need to include different stages of protocol development. This one includes initial protocol concept until actual implementation. So what are the factors that we are going to consider? That's why here in the new protocol activation process, we are considering different stages. And also under the new protocol activation process, we have asked our science working group and also other working groups on what makes a good protocol. So here we have listed several criteria. For example, science, implementation, education, and society, specifically for sustainability. And as I've mentioned, the new protocol activation process is closely coordinated with other working groups, such as technology and education. So under the new protocol activation process, we also have the need to address on suggesting new instrumentation for existing observations. So the new protocol activation process is about to be completed. So this is what we're going to look upon for the next months. Next slide, please. So for the upcoming task of our working group, so we have created the Globe Accessibility Subcommittee. So under our working group, we have a primary and secondary point persons for this subcommittee, and also the completion of the new protocol activation process. And lastly, review and create a system for the proposed protocols or instruments. Now, during the past webinar that we have said, there are some suggestions on the inclusion of microplastics for the protocols, as well as during the annual meeting. So there are several interesting and valuable inputs from our attendees regarding the protocol bundles and other instruments. So what our working group will be doing is to create a system on how persons or Globe teachers or other citizen scientists can propose and include or comment, suggest on possible protocols and instruments or revisions on protocol bundles. So I think this is the end of my presentation, and thank you for listening. Maraming salamat po sa inyong pakikinig.
Dash, back to you, Dash. Dash, are you still offline? Dash?
Hello, yeah, great. Now we have the last presentation.
We are all
Hello?
done unless the policy.
Okay, we have.
Nepal is not presenting, so we are all done.
Okay. No more presentation?
No, we are all done.
Okay. Yogendra cannot join today. He mentioned that he is busy, and also we had presentations from the working group members. This has been wonderful, and this is a good start that working group members and the country coordinators can work together and help each other. The country coordinators can take the advantage of the expertise of the country for the working group members, and that is very helpful. If there is any question.
Yeah, Dash, I do have some comments and questions. Dash, is it okay? Yeah, just some comments and suggestions. I actually have a list of comments and suggestions for all the working group. First thing is what I noticed, and it's not really difficult to notice this, that our work at the working group are interdependent of each other. But I can see for after having worked for the committee for the longest time, we have been working in silos, and the only time we have a coordination meeting is during consultations, and that happens very rarely, once a year. So I guess we should go back to each of our working group and suggest the possibility of creating an intra-working group committee whose function is to coordinate communication amongst the working committee. I really enjoy the DEI's projects, particularly the documents in promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion, the Jedi Daya, sounds so futuristic. But it would mean a lot if you can integrate that document into what we do at the Globe community. A very good example is coming up, for example, of a DEI assessment, impact assessment framework, so that any Globe training before, so that this will become part of the checklist before they could actually conduct any Globe training. For example, the trainer should have at least assessed the impact to the community, the impact to the ecology, et cetera, et cetera. It's a wonderful idea, and it's high time that we do promote diversity, equity, and inclusion. For the technology, for Miss Joanne, if I may suggest, I guess you and I experienced this when we did the training in Bhutan. There are a lot of digital instruments nowadays that is not covered by our protocol. How do you calibrate them, for example? How do you calibrate a digital soil or NPK tester? So I guess you bring this back, your experiences in Bhutan, bring it back to your technology working group and tell them that there are new instrumentation available that's not covered by the Globe manual. For the science, of course, I'm looking forward for the microplastics, because in the last IVSS, you wouldn't believe how many people have submitted, how many students have submitted microplastic paper, but they were not considered for any awards because it is not part of the Globe protocol. And also for the technology, the agricultural bundle, I was very surprised. Only during the annual meeting did I realize that there is in fact an agricultural bundle, but it was never rolled out by the technology working group. Had I known it earlier, then I would have used it during the last presentation in the annual meeting. And finally, for the technology working group again, Ms. Joanne, perhaps you can talk about how the technology working group can promote data analytics, particularly data coming from SMAP, the NASA missions such as the Camp 2EX and the Monsoon. Remember, we have had seminars with NASA on how to go about it. I guess we need to put it in the mainstream of the Globe data. I think those are good ideas. And these kind of discussion could have surfaced during one of those intra-working group committee meetings. If we can all go back to our respective committee and tell them that it's high time that we all, that there should be a coordination meeting, I don't know, twice or 3 times a year. I think that's more than sufficient. So thank you very much. Oh, last things, DEI, mosquito. You mentioned about working on a mosquito project, translating the mosquito. I really love the mosquito protocol, except that it is among the sunset protocols. So in terms of relevancy, if there's a way we could really push for the mosquito protocol to continue, particularly for Asia and Pacific, because the problem of dengue and malaria in Asia Pacific, including Africa, is really a persistent problem. It's not the same for Europe and North America, and maybe that's the reason why they included it among the sunset protocol and have stopped the support for the mosquito protocol. So those are just my comments. I love the mosquito project and what the DEI is doing about it. So that's my comment. I'm sorry, it's a bit wordy. Thank you.
Thank you, Rod, for your suggestions, questions, and also this has been very useful, very helpful. I just want to say that this webinar was after a gap of 2 months due to this annual conference, and our next webinar we would like to have in the last week of August, so that we maintain our continuity. And also I just want to find out, in the list I find some language and 112, who is this person is? if you look up the list here, from which country, like 112, who is this?
Dr. Peliam. 112 is Dr. Peliam.
Oh, that is his, okay.
What?
Yeah, because I'm looking for a long time.
Dr. Dash want to know who is 112, Dr. Peliam.
Okay. So, any comments, suggestion? Any question, any suggestion? Peliam? Okay, any comments or any suggestion? Okay, we will have our next webinar in the last week of August, and we will find out some speaker and also inform everyone, all of you. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope that the situation with our friends will be soon okay. Professor Peliam, is everything okay?
Yeah, how's Taiwan? The
Yeah.
US speaker is in Taiwan.
Okay. Okay.
Very good. Very good webinar.
Thank you very much. And yeah, okay. See you, because we are watching a lot of things on TV. Sometimes the one night I was wake up whole night almost to see that what is happening, and I'm happy to see all our friends in Taiwan are safe and happy. Keep it up, so that should we wind up or should we continue talking? Just yeah, hello.
Are we done yet? Or
Okay, so we can wind up today.
hi everyone.
For any more questions?
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you, Ron. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Thank you, Dish.
Thanks, Dash. See ya.
Hi,